what do you think of comedy these days? Like, tell me what your assessment.
Of the current climate. I feel like, yeah.
And I'm talking about locally and internationally.
So, like, there is a lot of that. A lot of, like, people there in their, like, early 20s and mid-20s. And, I mean, we've all got a bit of that when we're young, and they come in and they kind of think they're going to change the world, and everyone wants to hear their opinions about stuff, and they get bogged down in that so much that the laughs, they're not focusing on that enough. It's not that they're not funny people, they are, but they're so focused on, activism and, all the right causes and all that stuff. So my one is like, hey, talk about whatever you want as long as it's funny and it's entertaining. Because I love political stuff when it's well done. But I also don't want to hear how the world should be run by someone who's 23 and who's read a few books and isn't making me laugh.
And he's literally growing up in the West.
Yeah, and they're, you know what I mean? I'm a middle-class kid.
Most privileged.
Yeah, middle-class white kids. So I'm like that too, but I don't lecture like that because I'd feel like an idiot doing it, but I'm older and I've got experience. But I definitely came in not quite like that, but I do regret and embarrassed by when I came in. My one was I came in a bit hot.
Oh, really?
And in my later 20s, and I've been watching too much Stuart Lee and some other big dogs and stuff, and I was trying to mimic that a bit, and throwing the odd little lecture nugget in between jokes, and I was like, oh god, what was I thinking? But that was where I was a victim of instructive bullying. Like, a few kind of older guys and girls took me aside in a nice way and were like, what are you doing? Like,
really? Would you call that bullying?
Probably not. Maybe bullying is
I
like,
would say like fucking constructive criticism.
They roasted me every now and again, and that stuff like that. So yeah, probably not bullying. Constructive criticism with a side of roasting.
A side of roasting.
Yeah.
Well, look, I'm back to my point before. We all need to be roasted.
I definitely needed it then for 100%. Yeah.
And like, it seems really harsh at the time.
Yeah.
But I think one of the things that I sort of realized, like, especially more lately, was like, oh, dude, you're really lucky and you're really privileged.
Yes,
and
we totally
I don't like that word because it's misused by like really woke people.
Yeah, the extreme of it for sure. Yeah.
But like, at the same time, I'm pretty, like, I've got all my limbs, my arms and legs, like fingers, toes, both my eyes work. Yeah. At the moment, and I got my hearing, so I'm pretty lucky. So sometimes when you're going through a tizzy phase, where you're sort of being a bit whingy and complaining, and like you can't snap yourself out of it.
Yeah.
Someone else is kind of sick of listening to your bullshit.
Yes.
Like you need that, and they feel like, I need to intervene here. I got to step in and check that person before they wreck themselves.
Yeah, definitely. Because we can just
get from a loving place.
We can get caught up in our own feedback loop, and it's just narcissism or whatever. We're just thinking all about ourselves and not realizing.
Guilty.
Totally happens, and not realizing. Hang on a minute, like, there's more going on than